Shalom, peace to you all. I hope that you're doing well today. Welcome in. We're going to look at some energy together once again collectively and see what's going on. If you are returning back and you're upright, I bless you and I send you love and light. And I pray for you all, and I pray that you pray for me as well. If you're new, my name is Shannon Hensley. I'm out of Kansas City, Missouri, and I just do a real heavy spiritual work here on this platform. It is not going to be a platform for everyone. It is a very special platform for people who understand what spiritual warfare really is about and how that karmic activity really comes into this realm through people and gets people acting all crazy and causing people to lose their mind and stuff when it shouldn't even be that way. And we're told by the Most High God to pursue peace, but there are people that's too prideful to pursue it, because you and I, when we fall down on the earth, and it makes a responsibility of you and I having to look in the mirror and anyway, and there's no other way to live but by the truth, and to just be free. That sword of truth cuts away all nonsense. And yet you got people that'll sit there even being caught right in the act of nonsense. And I was telling that I was watching something last week on smugglers, and this woman literally tried to take somebody's bag, and she got caught right in the middle of it. She still sat right there in their face and lied right in the middle of, they caught her. It's dumb. And why, I mean, that's, you talk about prideful people don't want to face something that, just because she's going to sit there and lie to the people that didn't get her out of what was taking place. She still went to jail. And people are delusional in some nonsense. And we look at real heavy stuff, and I don't have a problem saying that I want the wicked dead if they won't turn around and do what's correct. We don't want pedophiles and rapists and murderers walking down the street. I'm sorry, I don't. Maybe you do. You think that's mean that I get up on here and say God's going to punch you out, take you to the lower parts of the earth? Because I do that on this platform, because I will not put up a wickedness. It should make us mad that way. We should hate the things that God hates, folks. And if you can't make peace, and that really isn't genuine in your heart to want to make peace, even with somebody who's really caught up in some nonsense, and to go try to help and give whatever counsel you can for somebody, and if you don't want to look at somebody who is in some crap that needs to be cleaned up, if they're not willing, then that's on them. But we are just to warn and pursue, and if they turn, then great. We've won somebody's soul from being in a destruction at the end of this realm, because we're all going to die someday, and you can't stop that. You and I can't stop that day that God allows you and I to take our last breath. And you and I can either prolong our days. God promises we can do things to prolong our days, and nobody can stop that. If God says you do this, I'm going to prolong your days. Even if you got people being stupid around you, God's word's going to perform around you for a protection for you to live. Don't care about what the crazies are doing. If you're doing what God says to prolong our days, we will prolong our days. God says if you do this, that, or the other, you can shorten your days. And there ain't nothing you and I could do about his word returning to him, because it won't come back to him and say, void, it didn't happen. It is going to happen. So you and I either pursue peace and get along and be upright, or if you can't get along with somebody and you've done all that you can do, then God will give you a way to stay protected in some nonsense. It's dumb. It's immature. It's called crazy. And people are fighting and losing their life over stupid stuff. Pride is at the core of it. We look at stuff like that. So I'm a very intense reader, because I care about people, whether they care that I care or not. I do. The righteous, you and I, who walk in righteousness and strive for that, we understand the devastation at the end of spiritual nonsense that's going on in this realm. You got a lot of people that don't understand why you may be pursuing and saying, hey, don't get in that energy, or hey, what's going on, or why would you be this way? They get all mad at you. Who do you think you are? I don't think of anything except what God tells me to do in the earth, and he tells us to warn people. And some people have that title over them to have to point the finger at that nonsense. I'm also pointing it at myself, because I also live in the same world as you. I'm just willing to look in the mirror and get up if I do make mistakes, and help people if I don't, and they're in one, and I can give, help in any way, shape, or form. If you don't want to, then I guess you don't want to. This channel ain't for you. You won't like me then, because this is what we attack in the earth realm. It is what it is. Most High, I just thank you. Please bring sane people to this platform, even if they're caught up in stuff, because the goal here is to warn so that people can be taken right out of the very fire itself. Most I bring people that can wake up today. We have the 8 of Cups in the reverse. This kept coming out in the reverse the other day. The 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Lover's card in the reverse. It's about making choices, intimate choices. Somebody don't have their polaric balance in order here. And God tells us if there's unbalanced stuff, it's abominable to him. Somebody's made a wrong investment. This is you reap what you sow here. Something's being uprooted and somebody walking away from something as well. This in the reverse is going places for wrong reasons, and somebody's made some type of choice in some stupid investment and they're reaping what they sow in something. They're walking away, going somewhere. Maybe you're not going to walk away from a bad investment either. I could read it that way as well, and that's a bad choice to make. So, I don't know. King of Pentacles is here at the bottom of the deck. If he's upright, he's very grounded. And if somebody's doing something stupid around nonsense around that person, he's very grounded. He will do what's correct. But if he's done a bad investment and put 8 out of 10 cups in some stupid investment out here, then he don't have his balance and he makes wrong decisions. And so I'll have to read it that way, in the negative. Everything came out in the negative. So whether he's upright or not, all my cards in the deck are upright. So we'll see. Show me more information. Why is this out here? Okay, well, somebody's a thief, a liar, and a cheat. You got the 9 of Pentacles. This is single energy. This is about being prudent. This is also about, I segregate you and I use you and I take your pentacles because I want them type of energy. That's wickedness, and may your hands be cut off. That's one thing that God says the karmic activity will bring a short life for you. You think you're gaining something by putting your little sticky fingers on stuff. Actually, you just cut your life short there. It's a fact. But you can go ahead and do it because you're in the moment. You think, I got something here, and you don't got nothing. You got crazy on you. Somebody guilty for something. This is guilty energy with the 7 of Swords. This is stealth. Somebody practices a wickedness here with that energy, I guess. We have, so King of Pentacles does want to come out with the Magician, the Page of Wands, and the Temperance card is here. Somebody, there's a word out here in the pictograph language that goes to begging and begging and pleading and pleading and pleading for something that is being told no all the time to something. And it really goes to somebody pleading for meat that is unfit for you to eat, is what the pictograph language tells us. But the courthouse does appear in the 6 of Cups. And so somebody is pleading and pleading and pleading. You could have a lawyer here. I don't know. Somebody's name is Anna, ran back into itself. Or maybe it's Brianna. Hey, Brianna. Anyway, there's somebody's in their mind. There's cruelty. There's anxiety out here around stuff. If whoever's the liar, there's a manipulator out here in some type of a headship. Again, King of Pentacles wants to come out again. Something about the past, and your children are also here. If this is a favorable testimony card, because it can have that meaning, and you are dealing with court matters out here, whether it's a child giving a favorable testimony or a soulmate or something from the past, or something's going on with the courthouse with your ex, then somebody is out here doing something around something that was invested in that was off, around lies. And somebody thinks they're giving a favorable testimony, and then this is perjury in the court. And somebody's pleading and pleading and pleading because they're trying to get out of something then. Because there's a backwards investment here. Something very much emotional with it, with the 8 of Cups, because somebody put 8 out of 10 cups in it. If there's death matters, that murder came out all freaking day yesterday. And somebody was so mean yesterday in that other reading that I did. And this is cruelty. Somebody got mental problems out here, just play games like that. Show me this King of Pentacles. Show me this King of Pentacles. 2 of Swords on the 8 of Cups in the reverse. Somebody's sitting as a cellmate, won't answer questions, and they've purposed in their heart that they're not going to. Somebody's a liar out here. They sit in some place out here. So people got things. Surely riches have wings that they will fly away. You want to be rich quick and all that kind of stuff. There was something in the scripture about that stuff as well today, and they just fly away. Anyway, Most High tells you not to labor to be rich. God bring us into a wealthy place. But if money has you, you're wicked. Somebody is a liar out here. Somebody's guilty. So the Two of Swords can represent, I'm going to pretend like I don't even know what's going on. Somebody does know what's going on. And somebody went somewhere for wrong reasons, did some stuff. Now somebody's pleading and questioning things, and there's manipulation going on around some stuff. For some of you all, somebody using your kids to lie, maybe even in the court of law, or they did it in the past. Most I said last night, you better talk to your kids, because it was important. And God said yesterday, thus saith Jehovah, whatever decisions that you make that were wicked in yesterday's reading, because he also gave 24 hours for people to do what was right. He said in that reading that if you made the wrong decisions, that he was going to allow you to stand over your children's grave, because it's that devastating and something that's going on out here. And somebody is willing to sit here and act like they don't know where they went in an investment. That they went for all wrong reasons is that card, and it shows so. It's backwards. This investment's wrong, and they think they're waiting on it in their thievery and trying to manipulate something in something that they produce out here in some nonsense, and they're going to then sit here and plead, maybe even with somebody who's connected with court. Ain't going to work out with them. Ain't going to work out with them or for them. There's a headship out here involved in something. Anyway, Two of Swords is out here. This is by getting into unity. It's somebody's also somebody's just dragging their feet on something. They know what they're doing. They're sitting in a stalemate. They know what they're doing. Anyway, somebody around you is a liar. You're doing something at work with these, and obviously there's the business person out here with the King of Pentacles, or you are dealing with an earth energy. Don't have to be. It's just showing us some type of an investment is out here around some nonsense going on, and it's illegal with it in the reverse, and somebody in headship's involved in it, and of course they don't want nobody to know because their reputation's on the line. Somebody's reputation's on the line with some type of headship out here. There's something to do by a body of water for some of you with this matter. Okay, this is past energy with that Six of Cups, and then something's out here. We kept having the drowning energy come out real strong this last month. Okay, cutting ties, jumped on this King of Pentacles. Somebody gonna cut some ties. Somebody's two-faced out here. Okay, well, that's why somebody don't want to answer no questions about some stuff, because they're a freaking liar in something that they're doing out here with money. Cutting ties. It says the standing up and having an awakening and being free is what the card says. It's time to cut ties. Somebody don't want to answer their questions, look in your face and have a genuine conversation to really heal some stuff, because somebody's unwilling to do that with this card jumping out. They're unwilling to do it. They think their lie is going to get them out of something because they don't want to go to jail, or they want this money that they've stolen, and God's not going to give it to you. Somebody is masked out here. It was just showing two-faced and now masked. Anyway, I guess you're masked. May something happen where your rear end just shines in front of everybody in your stupidness then. There's no hope for you being that way. There's no hope for you. So there's a chaos going on. Okay, it says a downfall, an upheaval, a disaster, and there is gossipy, nosy energy around this matter, and somebody's masked. Yesterday we had all those people talking. Look, people sitting around talking. It was really strong yesterday in different decks. It was showing itself. Everybody was sitting around talking about some stuff, and we had people that were masked around it. And I told people, I said, better pay attention to what's being said, how things are being said, because somebody trying to get away with something out here that's illegal, spiritually illegal, because somebody's a liar out here around some crap. They are unwilling to answer the question because something wrong, real wrong. What else you want to bring out here? Anyway, you're gonna reap what you sow. Somebody did make it. So this is like, it came out in the reverse. So this is a decision card. It's like the Two of Wands. It's a plot card, or how do I escape? Somebody's trying to escape something. You ain't going to escape this because you did something out here and you know it and you're willing to wear the mask for it. And God's going to make you trip up because that's how God's word works. You and I don't get away with lies, deceit, deception, we get set free and find the grace of God and get some type of victory when we do the truth, even if you got to look in the mirror to do it, and let God rebuild you through time. You'll have a testimony, and you can go grab people out of your own stupid nonsense down the road that you understand that you were in, and then you have an epiphany of, oh my God, I was on my way to destruction, and you start helping other people take time to rebuild. But somebody's not willing to take some time to rebuild for even long-term stuff, for eternity. The Temperance card has a meaning of eternity. This is somebody trying to escape something. I'm at a crossroad. What do I do? What are my alternatives? Your alternatives is to tell the truth or die. So it jumped on this Two of Swords, and so it came out in the reverse. So this is somebody making a decision to sit here as a stalemate and pretend. So that's why you're a liar. Because it's devastating. It's chaotic out here. Anyway, somebody's an enemy out here. Somebody's around you and they're masked, and they're really an enemy, and they are crazy. They're crazy. Because they're a psychopath, because God said so. The Ring in the reverse. These are bad contracts. It's a contract card. Whatever that investment is nasty. It's nasty. If this is your husband, then your husband's involved in something, because he can be a husband card. So this coming out crossing, this is trying to make peace. Somebody's a liar in it. They're wearing a mask. They want to sit around, have some whatever with you, talk and something. You better cut some ties. It's also somebody's sexuality is involved in something, which is backwards with that Lover's card. Intimacy in the reverse. Something's wrong with it. That's why somebody don't want to answer questions, because somebody's a cheat, a liar, a thief, and everything else. The clouds, this is like distorting things and confusing things, blocking things. Whatever this magician's trying to, do, maybe even on electronics, as that goes back to that. This is manipulative nonsense out here. Even when you're doing things, let me just say this, because I've got evidence that literally will stand in the court of law. Even because Homeland Security and stuff came out yesterday. Even if you think that you're doing something to manipulate even on people's electronics, because I've showed live on live platform, look what we're capturing right here from another device. There's still paper trail to that. Something still can be proven against that. This Two of Swords in another deck shows two people butting heads, because both parties know the truth. But this party here, they got too much to lose, so they're just going to pretend and say, I don't even know what you're talking about, and have a cow about it too. But they're wearing a mask. Anyway, go ahead and play your games, folks. Go ahead and play your games. You're a lowlife and you have no hope. And that's the truth. Anyway, everything's jumping over there in this King of Pentacles. Well, he is trying to leave or do something, or he did go somewhere for all wrong freaking reasons and did some crap out here for money's sake. The greedy person. Anyway, or somebody's trying to escape. What are my alternatives? How do I get out of here? Because anyway, something's about a travel out here. It's a burden, or that's the person in divinity, or somebody out of your church, or whatever. This is very sacrificial to somebody. Groups of people are involved in some stuff. A person's probably known, so I gotta pretend I think I'm gonna get out of it that way. You're not. Anyway, groups and things like that. Outdoor public places is that card, and then finances is here. And again, if there's something by water, then the River card is out here. This has meaning of water, but it's finances involved in some stuff. Okay, there's the letter and the contract right there. Okay, which is that Ring card, has all that meaning if you're not dealing with a marital situation. Some type of contractual thing is out here around what somebody did in a very illegal, manipulative way, and they're willing to take it to hell with them for destruction day. People better cut ties away from this person. If you're sitting here and you know truth, and you know it, can prove it, show it, and the other person sitting here and you know they're freaking lying, you better cut ties with that person, because that person's going to take you and your company and your family and everything else right down to the pit of hell. And like I said, Jehovah said he would allow people who got entangled with making decisions, and there's a decision card out here, in the wrong way. God said, I'm going to allow you to stand over your children's grave for it. Now you talk about, and somebody's willing to go to hell for this. Anyway, Jehovah is our shepherd, we shall not want. So this person's taking God's name in vain. That's why they're willing to sit there and lie and cheat and steal. They ain't of no worth at all. Most High says he's going to supernaturally fix a problem out here. That's great. Thank you, Most High. There was a lost pregnancy that was involved in something that's taken place. Your relatives. God's going to pound this message as well. It's totally different cards coming out this way to show it. Relatives are out here with it. That's why somebody don't want to answer questions, because it's devastating to a family out here with it. Your relatives were all over the place yesterday. It says, whoso mocks the poor reproaches his maker, and he that's glad at calamities shall not go unpunished. So somebody likes to cause crap. People laughing at your calamity, they're going to be punished by God. All right, it says, in mercy shall the throne be established, and you shall set up on it in the truth, in the tabernacle of David, judging and seeking judgment and hastening righteousness. We hasten real quick righteousness. Not I'm going to sit here and try to come up with a plan and what can I do and I'm going to wear a mask. That's crazy stuff there. There is nothing for you in that energy. Boy, it amazes me how people are deceived though, thinking, no, I can't figure this out. No, I can figure. Oh, okay, I got it this time. You didn't get it last time. You're willing to sit out here and be a liar. God ain't favoring you. Anyway. Headship, dorms, and rooms. You could be dealing with somebody you went to school or college with. Something's happened with rooms. Yes, they have, haven't they? Anyway. Why somebody don't want to answer questions, especially if this is a marriage with that ring and the lover's energy is backwards out here. Somebody did something where money was concerned. Somebody got pregnant out of a matter, and your relatives, or somebody laid down with your relative. I put that picture up yesterday and said everybody gets around in your family. Somebody slept with all your family members. Something like that was coming out 2 days ago. Messiah was telling it. It's time for things to come out of the dark is what I just heard God say, whether you like it or not. Okay. Well, somebody's shelter and stuff is out here. Rooms, dorms, headships around some stuff. Somebody's willing to just sit here and make a mess out of some situation. Perception is out here. It comes from God. God's the one that tells it. People get mad because God tells the truth, and it's stupid. There's the electronics right there. It is. Somebody's ego is out here. That's what I'm saying. Somebody's willing to sit here and lie. Even if there's proof right in somebody's face, like I said, and that lady was just like, leave me alone. I'm just as human as you, and I didn't do nothing. And she sat there and got caught taking somebody's baggage. People are literally that crazy. Two of Swords can be a crazy card. Conflicted, we ain't confused. Somebody is confused out here because they did some nonsense very chaotically. Makes them look like a idiot. Picked in my hand. We're not moved by you. Whatever happens today, Jehovah, our times are in your hands. And if some people have to be thrown in the lion's den for an hour or a day, then the next day the door gets opened, even from headship, and the person who did that and their family all gets thrown and eaten by the lion because they try to do something to your people. Because God said it over and over again. You better watch out, because whatever you're trying to do out here, they're protected by me, God says. And God said yesterday, real heavy, you don't mess with me. That was him saying it. And if he's going to kill your kids in front of your face, I guess because you won't leave people alone that want to be upright in the earth, and you don't have nobody to, blame but yourself for playing stupidness out here. There's a declaration going on by headship in a city. Okay, well, headship is out here. There's something real huge is going on out here then today. Even for great groups of people in cities. It's right here. Public is here. The F comes out. So the F in the runes goes to fraud issues. It goes to children. It also goes to things that are unfolding today for us. It also tells us to trust. Okay, but person, place, or thing, positive or negative letter for anybody is coming out here. It's being highlighted. Okay. It says that truth sets you free, which God's trying to get somebody to tell the truth, but they're willing to sit here and lie. No, I'm going to pretend and just sit here like I don't know, say something. I'm going to lie. because well, I don't want to go to jail, or because I'm known, or well, anyway, you're not going to be set free. You are on your way to hell. Truth sets you free. Something about removing something is here. Okay, well, anyway, Jehovah shall supply the need. God will supply the need. We don't lean on the arm of the flesh. God says if you and I lean on the arm of the flesh, then there's cursedness here. Why would anybody want to lean on this person? This person act like they have everything in the world and they are lost cause in the negative of that energy. They manipulate stuff for their own gain. They're a lost cause. They're an enemy to everybody, even to their self. They put blocks even on themselves. They think they're some big shot. Anyway, Moses is bringing out that somebody's stuck in the past, and the words on the card says, I wish I could just turn back time. And we can't. You're going to have to face something out here. You can't. The past is out here with the Six of Cups. You cannot change it. But you can be set free from something in the past. But you sitting here being some doofus and willing to be some type of crazy on somebody else's life, it ain't going to work. I guess this was here, a mistress lady. That's why this intimacy is backwards. Somebody's married and it's backwards. And anyway, there's something going on out here today. And God's going to supply the need. All we have to do is just trust. We don't look to man, we look to God. You and I stand in the truth. The truth is the only powerful thing that cuts that lie away, regardless who's in a place to manipulate their power. Boy, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that person when God finally puts his foot down. They're going to have a devastation like they've never felt before to choose to sit there in their lives. Anyway, that's your business. So, electronics. There's my electronics room. It is out here. I got tons of evidence to show. Tons to show. Proof. And yet people still up in here and people know what's going on. If you don't make this declaration in your city against this liar, and you're part of the people that know about this person, and you've got an upper hand on this idiot to kick them out, put them in jail, and you're just as wicked as this person, leadership. This is a gift. That was being reciprocated. Again, it was a bribe. Somebody's done some crap out here with a bribe, and it's off and it's illegal. Now you're all caught up in some crap out here. And again, truth said, and somebody's all tied up in some nonsense out here. You're a lowlife to sit there and act like you don't know something when you do. Your ex is involved in some stuff. It shows on those pillars there with that courthouse there. This is a betrayal in love, a possible betrayal in love. It definitely shows it out here, especially with God saying truth is going to set you free. I mean, you got God saying so. And so when you say, no, God, I don't think so, I'm going to sit here. Heat is on. The war is on with God. Anyway, that's coming out here, the G and the X. And this is the letter U. It looks like an N. The N is also already out here in this reading, and the A came out. The V and the W and the Y or the J is also out here in this reading. This is military connections for some of you all. This is about making progress. If we're going to make some progress, God's going to make somebody get on down the road and call them guilty for what they are, whether they want to sit there or not. The truth's still going to come out. There's proof about stuff out here. They know it and everybody knows it. Anyway, this is bad karma on something that somebody's doing out here. So anyway, if you are trying to do something stupid, even if it's just for a time, because sin starts a time clock with us when we step into that. And after the season's up, you're going to have to pay a price for something that you've done. You and I don't get to escape the judgment of something. So whatever you're trying to do, even you're doing things with people that are standing with God, it's a heavier damnation when you're doing that. God let two wicked people come together and do this crap. He don't give a rip. But when it comes to his children, he's like, I'm their shield. And if you do touch that, you're in big mess. You're somebody guilty out here. You know you're guilty. And so your fate is on the line with the person who put that breath in you. You're trying to get out of something so that you can live and go live your life and stuff. And that very breath that God put in you, he ain't going to let you take that and be desolate within it. And while you're willing to sit here in some filthiness, he's just not going to let you do it. You're already dead cause. And people know about stuff. People willing to sit here on crap. I think you're a low life. May God be with you who will do what's up right here. You just need to trust. Shalom.